Hi everyone! In this video I want to show you how to make a Halloween or dark Victorian themed decorative shadow box. It's really easy and you don't need a lot of materials. Let's go through the process. First thing you need is a shadow box frame. I got this one from Amazon, which I will link below. This is the Tim Holtz Black Suit Distress ink, but you can really use any type of black ink pad for the first part of this process. Later on, I'll be using permanent ink too to avoid it getting too smudged when touching the frame. Or you can also just buy a shadow box that has a dark frame. That works too. So I'm just applying the ink slowly and blending it all around the frame until it's reached the dark color that I'm looking for. After this part is done, we can start to decorate the frame. I'm using the clear stamp sheet from my Halloween bundle. That's the one with all the spiders, spider webs, the cross that you'll see a little bit later. I'm also using a couple of other stamps that I will link below. For this part, you can use any stamps and play around, just fill out the space. For example, here I'm using these little ink stains and then postal stamp as well. Then I'm taking out the Dark Pharmacy large clear stamp and continuing this process of stamping around. Once that's done, I'm just going to use a small heating tool to make sure that all the ink is dry and that I'm not going to mess everything up while opening it. To decorate the inside, I'm going to choose a damask paper from an old paper pad that I have and just cut it right to the size of the inside of the frame. I'm aging the side of the paper with distress ink, the same one I used at the very beginning. And I have the perfect dark romantic vintage photo from a stash I found at an antique store. I'm topping it with a baseboard frame from Tim Holtz. So I'm just cutting the photo to size and adding it to the back of it. Then I'm darkening the frame in the same way that I did with the shadow box. I'm smudging the ink slightly with a wet tissue paper to create a less uniform look. A little bit of fussy cutting for these butterflies. Then it's time to add some layers with these little foam squares. Here I'm applying them on a paper stamped from the Dark Pharmacy large clear stamp that I showed earlier. Here I'm just adding a little bit to the background but without the foam squares. And don't forget to age the paper whenever you can. I do that all the time and it really adds something special. Now I'm gonna add the main piece onto our background and I'm adding several layers of the foam squares here to really create some depth. Let's add all of this into our shadow box and to top it up, decorate with our little butterflies. So after closing the box, I realized that the background was too far inside the shadow box and we couldn't see the details enough. So I added these pieces of cardboard in the back, just so that the whole design would be higher up in front of the window for a better result. Then I'm adding a few very last minute final touches and closing up the box. And that is it, we've finished. That's going to be a great decorative element for Halloween, but it's not too extreme either that it couldn't fit for another time of the year. So I'm really happy with the result. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. Let me know in the comments if you liked the idea, and if you're making something similar, please feel free to share. I would love to see it.